Yeah, I mean, I think we've just been really focused on, trying to take the experiences that we've stacked as a group and move forward. We looked at some of the situations we were in, possessions that we feel like we could be a little bit better, and we just want to continue to try to grow as a group. All the things that we go through give us an opportunity to sort of come together as a group and hopefully learn some lessons and maybe move on to make some new mistakes.
And Isaiah Osborne, obviously a great game. Threw him into the starting lineup right away today. What instills that confidence in him that you've seen on the court in practices to put him in that role right away?
I mean, he's obviously a very experienced, high IQ guy. He's been a really effective player at a lot of levels for a long time. We were hoping we could get him here even earlier. Obviously, it's nice to have him here now, but there's so many little things that he did in the game tonight that won't show up on the stat sheet, but he just has great awareness on the court. There's a number of times where he's able to sort of take a look at the spacing on the floor and, maybe he makes a cut and, some things that he just sort of does innately that helps the rest of the group. So he's such a smart player. I mean, you guys asked him some questions about making plays at both ends. Obviously, he can guard multiple positions and we know that he can create offense, both catch and shoot and off the dribble.
It's not easy for a player to step in with a new team and have that kind of role in their first game. How much of that is a product of him, having some familiarity with this team in terms of, he's a Windsor guy, and he knows Alex Campbell really well. He's played in the CBL, he's had success in this league. I mean, did you foresee this coming a little bit? Maybe not to the extent that it was, but did you see him playing as much as he would play today?
I mean, we had a good feeling that he would end up playing a lot. I mean, obviously he's been really well coached, in other places that he's been. I can't say enough about his IQ. Like I said, there were so many times mid-play where he's just adjusting the spacing or he's helping somebody else to get into the right spot, and that's really difficult to do after just a few days of practice. I mean, you got to also give him a ton of credit. A lot of times, people might show up and sort of try to feel their way through things. I mean, he had the video of all of our set actions, and he's studying, and he's with coaches, and he's here early, and he's spending extra time to get comfortable. So, I mean, he's a true professional.
I want to touch on their defense too. Both Teddy and Isaiah don't do being scorers, but they were very active in the passing lanes. Playing aggressive defense on the guards. What allows them to play that way, like in terms of, having someone like Jeremiah Tillman on the floor that, can protect the rim and things like that, but what allows them to play that aggressively, and how does that help the team accomplish its defensive goals?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we're rewarding defensive effort. I mean, I think we're really searching to have a connected five-man group on the floor. So the strength of the guys behind them give them an opportunity. I mean, you mentioned Tillman, but there's a lot of other people that are contributing to the defensive activity, and we're slowly building the trust at that end. I think the stretch in the third quarter when we were stringing some stops together, we finally had multiple people rotating, and the ball got picked up and we were getting back to shooters. So we're continuing to grow at that end of the floor.
I know this one isn't a back-to-back like you had with Ottawa and Montreal, but short break.
Well, it feels like it because we got to get on a plane again, so it feels like a back-to-back to me, but that could just be me.
Yeah, so you're on the plane, tomorrow you play again Sunday, a bit of an earlier start at 5 o'clock local time, 4 o'clock their time. What's going to be important to ensure that you keep the momentum going this time? Because in Ottawa it was a great game, everything was going well, and things just didn't carry over in Montreal. Again, tighter travel. But what do you have to ensure with these guys from tonight that they're ready to play, come tip-off on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it goes back to, the quality of some of the experience that we've garnered as a group, and it's been very evident at times where we become casual or comfortable that teams take advantage of that, and it puts us in a tough situation. And, I thought tonight the challenge was to have a greater level of urgency than Calgary, and for the majority of the game we were able to do that. The challenge now is to put it together for an entire game.
Coach, maybe just going off of that, you had a Calgary team coming in here that was I think it's fair to say desperate, looking for a win. You knew that they were going to be obviously scratching and clawing for a victory. What did you just like about the way that your team kind of responded, especially we talked about with Jeremiah and Isaiah, maybe a clunky start, to use Joey's word. What did you like about the way you kind of your team responded there playing against a desperate team?
Yeah, I mean, I thought obviously the pace of the game, there was a lot of fouls in the first half that sort of took away from the the pace that we were trying to play at. I mean, I thought they did a really good job of coming out in the second half and making some of the adjustments in terms of our effort and connectivity. You know, we just talk about trying to take care of the things that we can control. I mean, it's very obvious in this league that your record really has nothing to do with, you know, what's going to happen when the ball gets tipped up. And for us, it just needs to be more important than the other team. And if we have that level of care and urgency, then we're giving ourselves the best opportunity to be successful.
And just last one for me, I think that 4 guys account for like the vast majority of your points. I'm just wondering, is that a good thing for, like, as when you look at the stats, when you look back at it, they only have 4 guys that really, truly made that impact on the stat sheet, at least points-wise? Like, is that a good thing for you, or is it just, you don't really?
I think where my head is really at is that they're probably going to be adding a few guys to the lineup for Sunday that we got to be prepared for. So they're missing some people that we sort of anticipated could be in the lineup today. So, you know, it feels great to win today, but now we got to find a way to go out and get another one on the road if we can.